Welcome to the Dutch Miller Auto Show.
Today on the Dutch Miller Auto Show.
How do we mitigate this stress that is almost seemingly forced onto us through media and all of its different outlets?
I got there and I showed up in boots and they said, "Oh look, it's the car cowboy," and it just kind of stuck.
And so I had to ask myself, what can I do to make a difference on this mission? And the answer is to promote positivity through a billion acts of love, compassion, and kindness, and to get a billion people hugging more.
It's the Dutch Miller Auto Show. Entertaining West Virginia for over 15 years. With your host, Chris Miller and Wes Thompson. Recorded on location right here in Huntington, West Virginia. And now, Chris and Wes.
We are back. I'm Chris Miller along with
Wes Thompson. What were you guys just talking about?
So we were just in the middle, and our producer has moved us to start really quickly because we were talking about something fascinating that I think everybody out there should be a part of. And it has to do with your credit and your credit rating and how it works. And so here's the first crazy thing. There are three main credit bureaus: Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion. None of them are regulated. None of them have a guaranteed formula for how it works. They literally use an algorithm that measures all of the things that are reported to the bureaus on their credit system, and it scores you. And so Wes had an instance. Why don't you tell everybody out there?
Well, my colorful way to word it was that I said it was bull,
hockey.
So that you know that as a person who is the owner of an auto group.
Yes.
So when people come in to buy cars, one of the first things that takes place if they're intending to finance the vehicle is a credit check. Mm-hmm. And, does the human element come into play at all? Or are you stuck with dealing with whatever this algorithmic number is?
So we are all nothing more than a bunch of numbers and letters written down on a piece of paper that then gets submitted to credit bureau houses. And your score and that piece of paper that has numbers and letters on it determines what you can and cannot purchase. And it's that simple. So there is no real human element behind the credit rating at all. Like I've seen a guy that has his own business. He's a successful business guy. It's a sole proprietorship. It is a jewelry business and has high revolving credit and also is in real estate because he has several investment properties. So when you look at that as his W-2 income versus his 1099 income, it's substantially different. And that all plays a part in it. So you can have somebody that has a lot of income and high revolving debt loads that they use to run their business, and it totally affects what their credit score is.
But to the point that you just made was actually more the question I was asking. I understand the fact that we're, when it comes to your credit rating, that's a numbers game. I actually meant at the dealer level. Are you able to, when somebody comes in and let's say they have an affected score in the circumstances you just gave, now you as the business owner know that they are a credible borrower, that is just, they're a victim of the circumstance of the way the numbers crunch. Is there any way at the dealer level that you're able to kind of push that through?
We do it every single day, and it starts with getting your foot in the door. And so the only way that we can actually start those conversations with financing institutions or banks is by getting the application submitted over and then getting some sort of rough credit decision that then allows us to contact them and tell the entire full story.
If you don't shop Dutch, you'll pay way too much. Worked in call centers for about 4 years, but always enjoyed the sales aspect of that. And I had a buddy of mine at the time, we both worked there together. Dutch Miller was doing an open, walk in and get hired, essentially. He went and got hired and he told me about it, so I showed up and it's been all gas since then, so.
Hey Chris, check this out. Hey Alexi, where's the best place to get a great deal on a new Kia?
Searching for Chia Pets.
No. Look up Sportages.
Searching for Porrages.
Right now, get 0% financing on 2025 Sorrentos or up to $3,500 bonus cash.
I give up. I'll see you.
Searching for Dutch Miller Kia.
Maybe you should have used Surrey. I'm here with my friend Chris Lane, and we want to take a little time to talk to you guys about the importance of exercise and mental health.
It's a very, very, very big hole to dive into. How do we mitigate this stress that is almost seemingly forced onto us through media and all of its different outlets? We're staying up on our technology. It's almost like we're, again, being forced into
it's sad you have
development.
to use the phrase "stay up on" the technology, right?
Right.
It's
Stay
just
current
so
with it.
overwhelming. It's taking over our lives, basically. Human beings aren't designed to spend so much time around all this technology, and it causes problems. And we see it in kids. We see it in adults. And, those problems are something you really need to try to avoid. And for me personally, I'll tell you, exercise is a great release valve, if you will.
We don't unplug enough. Unplugging and getting away from the world and working on yourself. So if you're in the industry of servitude, like you and I both are, it's tough to pour from an empty cup. But when you're stressed and empty and strained and stretched too thin,
good. Yeah.
How do we recharge that? And for me, coming from the background of health and wellness, working full-time my entire career in health and wellness in the fitness industry, being that industry of servitude where I'm coaching, mentoring, I need to keep my cup full in order to spill into others.
I am Truckman, and remember, if you don't shop Dutch, you'll pay way too much.
For a limited time at Dutch Miller's Beckley Auto Mall, get up to $7,500 off GMC Sierra 2500s and 3.9% financing.
Dutch Miller powers your drive with GMC professional grade trucks.
Or drive a new Terrain all-wheel drive starting at only $33,540. GMC, we are professional grade.
Almost 5 years. March of 2021. So.
You've been there 5 years?
Yeah.
Okay.
Weston, Huntington.
And in sales the whole time?
Yes. Different. Like I've went around and learned a little bit of the aspect of around the whole dealership. But yeah, mostly sales. I mean, a few months away, but yeah. Yeah, like 95% sales.
What you're saying, Chris, is that you really can. If you have struggling credit or troubled credit, it's not an automatic no at Dutch Miller Automotive.
Absolutely
so
not.
when you come in, and I think, tell me if I'm wrong, but I think I understand that part of that system is you're working with, say, 30 different lenders who are competing with one another. And they're trying to get your business as well.
Correct.
So you're able to leverage that. You're able to say, hey, help me out with this person here.
Yes.
Okay? And we'd love to do more business with you.
Yes.
And that's how you get people done.
That is exactly correct. And it is a constant process, but it basically has to do with us fighting with banks for our customers.
I think what we are both just telling anecdotal stories of is credit fluctuations can happen to everyone for any reason. You can be somebody who makes $250,000 a year or somebody that makes $25,000 a year. But the truth is, when you come into Dutch Miller, they're going to be able to try to work with you. They're going to be able to look into deeper past just the number and try to get you in a vehicle, man.
Yeah.
Because that's half the time people come in and they're like, I just don't think I can get. The number one thing that when we've been talking to different salespeople from the different stores on this very show, we're gonna have a couple on today on this show, and previous ones that have come on, what they've said is one of their favorite things to do is get someone in a vehicle that's better than what they thought they could get when they came in. Because somebody comes in with a score that's, let's say, it's under, sometimes it's under 700, sometimes it's under 600. You get people
all
with
the
low
time.
fives
Yeah, absolutely.
that come in and they're like, I can't get anything, I can't buy bubble gum. And then sure enough, they go out in a new car.
Yeah.
Or a pre-owned vehicle.
Let's
or-
figure out the best way to help. And
Right.
what's funny is when you get pretty good at what we do, then we're able to weigh that customer, their needs, and what banks are buying paper certain ways, and then place it the right way to then help that person. So we see this all the time as well. Someone might come in and they're a 530 beacon, not very good. But they've got evidence that they were pretty good in the past, and you can see it in their credit history. And so then we will find, and they might be coming in and let's say, for example, they're looking for a Chevrolet. We actually can structure things the right way, and we might be able to get them approved on a brand new Hyundai, or the exact opposite way. They might come in on a Hyundai, we might be able to get them approved on a Chevrolet. And so there's this thing that happens that we're able to actually take all of the information and leverage our relationships with the banks, know what's happening out there in trends of who's buying what, and might be able to help somebody that's been told 11 times no they can't, just by changing a couple of things and putting them on the right vehicle that matches up with what the algorithm the bank uses to determine what you can and can't purchase.
And I would have to believe that that is also assisted by the fact that you have so many different manufacturer types under the Dutch Miller umbrella.
Yes,
so
absolutely.
you have so many different avenues to pull from. You've got Chevrolet, Hyundai, Kia, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Subaru, Ford, Nissan, GMC, you know, and so, and you know, at some point more to come, right?
More to come,
More to
absolutely,
come.
yeah.
And so when you have that many different, and then, you know, when you start adding in something like vehicles, right now on the screen, you got 1,630 vehicles available at Dutch Miller Automotive, at DutchMillerAuto.com. And this is a variety of anything from pre-owned, certified pre-owned, new. But did I bring up Subaru? I think I might have left
You did.
Subaru.
Yeah, you
did I
said
say
Subaru.
it? Okay.
Yeah, I was listening.
But you know, this is where coming to Dutch Miller Automotive really, you do have an advantage.
Absolutely. And this is what we do every single day. And we believe that it is our, you know, our job and our obligation to help our customers as best as possible. So we're going to do everything we can to help.
My name is Mark, and I work at Dutch Miller Chevrolet Hyundai of West Huntington, and usually go by the car Cowboy when I'm there. Well, it's a funny story because I walked into work it was my second or third day, and I was helping somebody do a dealer trade with another dealer. I got there and I showed up in boots, and they said, "Oh look, it's the car Cowboy," and it just kind of stuck. I've just kind of played off that ever since.
At Dutch Miller Chevrolet, the price promise means we will beat any other dealer's offer, or you'll get $500.
For a limited time, get a 2025 Trax starting at just $269 a month.
Shop 24/7 at DutchMillerChevy.com.
I'm here today with Reed Byers. Now, Reed's really interesting. He's a local entrepreneur. He's a motivational speaker. He's got a lot of irons in the fire, but right now he's working on a pretty cool project. It's about spreading positivity and love, but while simultaneously giving back to some really cool groups right here in the state of West Virginia. Reed, what do you got going on?
We are so incredibly excited to announce the launch of our new social impact brand called 1 Billion Hugs. We're on a global mission to create a more connected world. You know, we're facing a loneliness epidemic. People are more disconnected now than ever, despite being connected online. We've got rising substance use rates, we've got rising suicide rates, our young people are struggling with their mental health. And so I had to ask myself, like, what can I do to make a difference on this mission? And the answer is to promote positivity through 1 billion acts of love, compassion, and kindness, and to get 1 billion people hugging more. So we just launched our 4-week pre-order. We're selling t-shirts, free hugs t-shirts like you see me wearing. We've partnered with Mountain Mindful, a local Appalachian social enterprise that helps people with barriers to employment find meaningful work. And 10% of our net profits are going to go to the Boys and Girls Club and the Youth Leadership Association to promote mental wellness amongst young people.
And the youth leadership, that was actually formerly the YMCA?
It used to be the YMCA. They have Camp Horseshoe out in Tucker County. So kids from Ohio and West Virginia, they go there and they learn leadership and entrepreneurship, have family-style meals. It's just a transformative experience for young people.
I've been working at this company for about 5 months now. Before this, I coached youth sports. If I can convince a little 3- and 4-year-old that what I'm telling them is the right thing, I think I can convince an adult to make the right financial decision in purchasing a new vehicle. It's actually great. I mean, it's definitely a different journey. You know, obviously this is one of those aspects where you put what you put into it is what you get out of it. So it's been good to me so far.
You know, Chris, people will ask me, like, does friends and family pricing mean anything at all? Does it mean anything? And I'm like, it absolutely does. It absolutely does. So what it means is that Dutch Miller as a business model, and you feel free to shoot holes in what I'm saying, but I think I've been with you long enough, I think I kind of understand it. Dutch Miller Automotive as a business model, when you walk into one of their stores, what they are more interested in is gaining you as a customer, treating you the right way, and selling you a vehicle because they sell so many cars. They're not interested in sitting and just haggling with you and dinging you up on every single vehicle. What they're interested in doing is moving units, right? Yep. And because you're interested in moving units, they're gonna come in and get whatever the best deal they can get immediately. Like, why not just go ahead and get to the bottom line right now, move the vehicle, move on to the next one, right? I mean,
Makes it way easier.
And then make sure that you give them good service after the sale, and then they come back. I mean, that's your business model.
That's
Am
it
I
right there.
pretty
Yeah.
close?
And we've started out with a couple of dealerships and have used that business model to grow to about 13. So
yeah,
it's worked.
And it's still going.
Absolutely.
Spoiler.
Speaking of things we do every day, our inquiring audience wants to know Who has more hair care products, beard products?
Before we answer his question, I'd like to point out that he is referencing something from the 80s. That was the Inquiring Minds Want to Know.
Correct.
That was the advertising tagline of the National Enquirer.
Yeah.
Yep, Inquiring Minds Want to Know. What did the royal family do at the blah, blah, blah? So he's asking about hair and beard upkeep.
I'll tell you about me, man. So at my age of 46 years old, I've got this little like receding hairline thing going on. And I tried for a little bit this thing called minoxidil, which you put on your scalp and it's supposed to help your hair regrow. And then I thought, what's the big deal? You know? And so I just use shampoo that doesn't have a bunch of chemicals in it and call it a day. And what happens, happens.
So I just kept using shampoo with extra chemicals. You didn't know you could order that, and I did. And then here's where we're at. So and then this situation is what it is. So that's why by the way, I got this new installment. This is from the Hat Club for Men.
Nice.
And you put
Hat
it
Club
on.
for Men,
Watch
yeah.
this, and then now look. Yeah. Look at this, and then there's hair here.
What's the difference?
Right? And now it's like I've got a whole.
You're golden.
I'm all set, right? You're not seeing any bald spots right now. Look at that.
That's great.
That's perfect.
Yeah, we have a morning meeting, 9 a.m. every Friday and Saturday, and we'll go over inventory. Maybe something that's aged that maybe just got walked around, and there's a fair amount of that for no reason at all. Perfectly good vehicles, and we'll put additional money spiffs on those, maybe pay minimum amounts on those vehicles, as well as there's contests, right? It's a competitive environment, so we'll separate the team into 3 groups, and whoever sells the most cars might get a steak dinner that the other 2 teams have to cook and feed them, and the other 2 teams get beanie weenies.
As fall rolls into West Virginia, adventure is calling, and Dutch Miller Jeep is answering. With a fresh lineup of new Jeeps, unbeatable friends and family pricing, and a reputation built on treating people right, there's never been a better time to drive something new from Dutch Miller Jeep of South Charleston.
For a limited time during the Drive into Fall event at Dutch Miller Jeep, well-qualified buyers can get 0% financing for up to 60 months on select brand new Grand Cherokees.
Shop 24/7 at DutchMillerJeep.com.
Mental health is physical fitness. Anything that moves, because movement is medicine. It's the most underprescribed medication ever.
Doctors, you got 3 gyms in here, right? Yeah. When your cup is empty, that's great. And then movement is medicine. It is so true.
Absolutely. When we go into the doctor and we talk about mental health, depression, anxiety, even when we get to symptoms like ADHD and OCD, some of those things where our mind is just working against us. How do we quiet the noise and how do we focus? And a really great way to do that is through exercise, through recreation, through going to the gym, because that energy that's inside us, even the anxiety, some of those things, just the noise that goes on that kind of keeps us from being able to focus and execute. All of that's just kind of nervous energy, anxiety that sets on us. And that physical activity helps serve as an outlet to purge and get all the, let it roll off your shoulders, let it purge and come out. And once you're done, you're exhilarated, you might be breathing heavy, you might be crying, you might be sweating, but at the end of it, you have that moment of clarity, the light bulb, the epiphany of, wow, now it's all crystal clear. At least for a few moments before you step outside and go to the gym or turn your phone back off.
But there's no barrier to entry to a 20-minute walk.
Right, exactly.
And in my entire life, I'm 46 years old. In my entire life, I have never, ever, ever had something bad happen and gone on a 20-minute walk and not been in a better frame of mind to make a decision.
I'd say probably like a sub sandwich from anywhere. I mean, you can go Jimmy John's, anywhere like that. Jersey Mike's, we don't have one really local, but I'm a big fan of theirs. A chicken bacon ranch sometimes.
Chipotle or Qdoba, either one. I'm always getting a steak bowl. Always getting a steak bowl with queso and chips. Gotta have it. That's my ideal lunch.
I love Mexican. Mexican is probably the top food, I guess, style. But Casa Grande, El Texano. You get everything in the pot, just one serving. It's a good time.
We're getting some head nods over
here. Yeah, they're in agreement. They know what's up.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
And I don't typically wear a hat on the show, Chris, but today I thought, I'm going to sling it a little more cash.
It works. What's on your, Travis Matthews.
Travis Matthews. I like the little Travis Matthews.
You much of a golfer?
Oh, well, I mean, I have clubs. No.
Same. I'm the same. I have clubs and I have.
I have been to golf.
Yeah, I have been golfing before, but.
I'm the guy at a golf scramble that at the end of the day on the car ride home is going, remember that shot of mine we used?
We kept one of my balls.
That
we used
one
my
time?
balls.
Yeah, I remember that. And so that's like my thing. Yeah, my daughter plays golf and like she is better off me not helping her. Like I'm better to be a hands-off parent in that case. I should just sit back and go, you keep swinging away, baby. I don't know. Do whatever you got to do.
I'm good at lots of stuff. I just never ever spent the time to learn how to be a really good golfer, and the time it takes to be really good as well.
It really takes dedication.
It takes a lot of time, man. And
our camera guy Dave's really good at golf.
Yes,
his son is very good at golf.
I've heard this as well.
I've played golf with Dave, and
I'm not very good at golf.
It's like it's a combination of like Dave's a really good guy to go golfing with if you like really want like really specific tips and help.
Oh, I would take tips and help
right?
in golf. I know that's like an insult to most people.
So here's the way a golf outing goes with Dave. The first like 3 holes, you're going like Dave, and Dave will say like, if you want help, you ask me.
That's a good Dave Williams impersonation,
right? And so then I'll go and get it. So my first 3 holes, I'm like, yeah, what you got? And he's like, first of all, you get the line up, your grip, your feet, First of all, you need to stand back and look. You need to look ahead. He's like telling me to line up. Then about like say holes through, let's call it like 5 through 10. You have a few drinks, and then your golf game starts going, right?
Okay.
I say you, like 1, the universal, and then you start being like, hey, Dave, leave me alone, And Dave's like, I told you, boy, I told you. And and so then by the end of it, you basically ruined Dave's golf outing. But again, when I say you, I mean me specifically. Because then Dave's had to like spend most of his time waiting on me to like cut through the bushes trying to find the ball. And then I have this whole thing where like I have a minimal amount of, I have a minimal tier of ball search capability. Like where I go in and go, click, click, no, I'm just getting another one.
The things that I could say to that right now.
I know, there's a lot going on with that. We may have to edit some of this. But at the end of the day, 18 holes of golf, I'll come back. There's absolutely no way I did not spend 10 balls.
Well, the amazing thing about all this is that I'm not a great golfer, like we said. You and I could fill up an entire show talking about something we're not even really good at.
Well, I can tell you this, we are good at trying to hit the ball out of the nets at Topgolf.
Sure.
Which really upsets the people that work there.
It does.
If you just try to crank it every time and see if you can get it out of the
They don't like that.
They get all bent out of shape.
Yeah, I don't know.
You and I are over there going, we're athletes.
Check yes.
Yeah, we're running up on it like Happy Gilmore.
A couple of them, we licked a couple of them, man.
We put some in the net, and then the people start coming over and being like, guys, you're really supposed to hit the targets.
One of I think the most important things that you can do in whether it's professionally or personally is communication, right? Communication, whether it's in a relationship or with a customer, right? And that's one of our big focus points right now is communicating the best we can to make sure that the customer gets the best service. So we're gonna continue on that, and if for some reason the communication is not happening, then call me, contact me.
Fall is upon us, and there's 3 things I can't wait to do. Bob for apples in the horse trough. Horses like it too. Tell everybody my boots ain't muddy, they're just pumpkin spiced. And drive in leaf piles in my brand new truck from Dutch Miller Ram of South Charleston.
During the Drive Into Fall event, get up to $9,300 off select Ram 1500s plus 3.9% financing for 72 months.
Shop 24/7 at DutchMillerRam.com.
So basically, you're buying like a fun t-shirt, and by the way, there's different designs of this too. This is just one of the designs, right?
This is our flag founder edition t-shirt. We're doing just a single blue with the free hugs on the front and 1 billion hugs on the back for these 4 weeks, and then we're gonna launch a different line after we get through the pre-order.
So get your t-shirt and put a hashtag on the screen, hashtag 1 billion hugs,
Hashtag 1 billion hugs, share a photo of you hugging somebody, share a story of you sharing love, compassion, and kindness. We wanna get people away from their screens, out in the community, loving on folks more.
1billionhugs.com, it's right there on the screen, folks. Reed, that's a great idea. It spreads positivity, and at the same time, some of the profits go to some really great causes. So
Absolutely.
Good stuff.
Yeah, thanks, Wes.
Thanks for being on.
Absolutely.
Fall is made for adventure. Crisp air, winding roads, and the freedom to explore. At Dutch Miller Subaru, we have the vehicles built just for that. With Subaru's legendary all-wheel drive and top-rated safety, you can take on whatever the season brings with total confidence. Subaru capability, Dutch Miller simplicity.
For a limited time, get special finance rates as low as 1.9% for 72 months.
Shop 24/7 at DutchMillerSubaru.com and get fall ready.
We talked about the stores.
Yep, we did.
Dutch Miller Chevrolet and Hyundai on the west end
Of Huntington.
Dutch Miller Kia Barbersville, the original home of Friends and Family Pricing.
Yep.
Dutch Miller Kia of South Charleston, and then also in South Charleston, Dutch Miller Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram, and then also right there in Charleston, Subaru.
Dutch Miller Subaru.
I can't say how much we love Subaru. Subaru's such a great store. And then right up there in Ripley, you get Dutch Miller Ford and Dutch Miller Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. If you're up in that Ripley area, if you're up there in Ravenswood, if you're in Jackson, if you're heading up towards Parkersburg, come on down to Ripley and see us. And then you move on down the road to Beckley. And that's where you're looking at GMC, the Beckley Auto Mall there.
Dutch Miller's Beckley Auto Mall.
Yep, and then we've got a couple of pre-owned lots there in the Beckley area.
Yep.
And then of course we have Nissan in Wytheville, and we got Nissan in Bristol, and we've got Kia down in Charlotte. And there's just growth happening, man.
All kinds of stuff. It's been a lot of fun. And listen, we are the area's only automotive group that has 250 cars priced below $250 a month at any given time. We actually have between 400 and 600 cars in stock right now, priced below $250 a month. We also have thousands of vehicles in stock for you to check out online at DutchMillerAuto.com. All of our brand new, all of our pre-owned, and heck, if you look at the website, there's even stuff like motorcycles and ATVs and things like that on there.
Because you take trade on just about anything,
We
won't you?
trade for absolutely everything. And the most important thing is that at Dutch Miller Automotive, we want to help you buy a car. No matter what the circumstances are, no matter what your credit looks like, we can help you put together the right deal at the right time to get you into a new vehicle.
Well, Chris, I think that's it, man.
I'm Chris Miller along with
Wes Thompson.
This is the Dutch Miller Auto Show.
Hey Chris, check this out. Hey Alexi, where's the best place to get a great deal on a new Kia?
Searching for Chia Pets.
No. Look up Sportages.
Searching for Porrages.
For a limited time, get financing as low as 0.99% and $500 bonus cash on new Sorrentos.
I give up. I'll see you.
Searching for Dutch Miller Kia.
Maybe you should have used Surrey.